To me, it's so important that older people are involved in recovery. And one of the favourite policies of people in London so far that I've announced is that I will have an elders champion appointed within City Hall to make sure that the voices and the needs and the ideas from older Londoners are absolutely embedded in the London Recovery Programme. Now, there's two things I think I would do immediately that are already in my plans. And one is making sure that we have better, more healthy streets, places to sit, safer streets, making sure that we keep working on improving the streets so that older people do not feel trapped in their homes. And the most important part of that, and part of the policies that I've announced so far, are that I will invest in new public toilets. This is so important. Not just older people, but many people need to make sure that they have access to toilets when they go out. That's something I'm going to fix. I think this is incredibly important. We have to make our city streets, our city's policies work for everybody of every age. And I think if we can make sure that they work for the youngest children and the oldest Londoners, then we know that we're making it work for everybody. So to me, age-friendly standards, age-friendly improvements are about everyone-friendly streets, everyone-friendly London, and everyone-friendly policies. In my first 6 months as mayor, I will appoint an elders champion in City Hall, and I'll make sure that I'm reviewing progress against the age-friendly city standards. I will be making sure that dementia-friendly training is being rolled out absolutely everywhere it needs to be. And I'll be talking to all the different parts of the GLA too, the police, the fire service, Transport for London, about what they're doing, holding them to account on the progress that we need to make towards making sure that London is truly age-friendly. We've really seen the pandemic showing the problems that there are with people being socially isolated, just simply not having human contact on a day-to-day basis. I think austerity has been a big cause of this, closing down things like community centres and libraries. And my absolute passion is to try to make sure we have more community spaces as part of building back our high streets better, places where you can get things repaired, where you can just spend time in your community, where there's space for community groups to use high streets to make society better and make people keep in contact with each other. The other thing we've noticed is people set up organisations in their local neighbourhoods to keep an eye on people who might be socially isolated. That needs to be integrated much better into regular council work. That is happening in some boroughs, but not all of them. And I want to make sure that happens consistently across London, in connection also with the NHS, so that we've got more social prescribing going on when people approach their GPs and their GPs realise that they are socially isolated. This can be fixed with better systems, better facilities, and better coming together across different parts of the public sector. This is something that really bothers me. There's no reason why anybody who's reached retirement age should be struggling to cover their basic needs. At a national level, we need pensions to be higher. We need to have better support, but also within London, we can work on people's living expenses. There's too much of a poverty premium at the moment. People who can afford the least end up paying the most for each individual service, whether that's on prepayment meters or in terms of how you buy things in bulk. We have to make sure things are sorted out there. And I'm a private renter. I'm fairly soon going to be an older private renter. And we cannot have older people trying to live on fixed incomes facing higher and higher rents. I will be a campaigning mayor for the right to get to be able to set rent controls at London level and for the rights of renters of all ages. I hope you'll vote for me so that we can really fix this, because it's causing so much of a distress and should not be happening. I just think it's incredibly important that older people are valued members of the workforce. I hope you'll read my manifesto, because there is an awful lot of policies in there to support older people who want to work and continue working. This includes careers support, a careers service, so that people who are whatever their age can get support to start new careers, to get new training. I absolutely believe in lifelong learning, but we also need, for people who want to continue working in their current job, maybe more flexibly, a right to flexible work, more flexible hours, more flexible conditions built into things like the Mayor's Good Work Standard. I'd work really hard to make sure opportunities are there for older people to carry on working and contributing to London, because I really value what you already give, and we need to make sure it continues. We need to recognise that older people are workers too, that these restrictions are unfair, and that London shouldn't be made by the government to get rid of benefits that we've decided are important for our city. I would be the strongest voice against getting rid of this permanently. I would be a long-term advocate for making sure that the benefits that older people get for their travel are kept in place. We cannot have anyone feeling like they have to use their hard-earned pensions to cover transport. We need to make sure that this benefit remains. We've really seen during the pandemic the impact that lack of access to digital connectivity and digital devices really has on people. And there are too many older Londoners who are digitally excluded. We've got two great big opportunities ahead of us. One is the rollout of 4G and 5G now, where we could use these to provide a really basic broadband service to absolutely everybody without the infrastructure needs of putting things into everybody's home and doing it via wires. I just think this is something that a mayor at a strategic London level should be leading on. But also devices. I am such an advocate about repairing things, and there are so many digital devices out there going to waste. I want to have repair centres, repair services in every borough, on every high street, so that people can get hold of good quality repaired digital goods, free, cheap, through different services. We need to make sure everybody is connected. As a mayor, as a Green mayor, I will stand up against discrimination and abuse of all kinds. And this includes anything that discriminates against older Londoners. It's so important that we value the contribution that older people have made to life so far and the contributions they can still make. There is no place for ageism in my city. I will appoint an elders champion into City Hall, not only to champion the voice of older people who are out there in London, but to bring the more voices of older people into City Hall as well. I will do that as a mayor or as an assembly member, because I really truly believe that all policies should have the right voices involved in making them, and that everybody in London can contribute to good governance in City Hall.